no sunshine when you're gone. Ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine when you're gone.
I don't even know how to start this. I haven't had this vlog very long, and in many ways it feels like every time I put a video out, I have this promise of there's gonna be more videos, or very soon I'm gonna get to a point where I'm gonna start uploading more, and I honestly believe it in those moments. Just like anything we say we're gonna do to improve ourselves or to improve our lives, I just kind of feel like that's something that is important to me and that I really want to start investing time in and prioritizing. And at the beginning of 2017, the last vlog that I put out, I went for a hike with my parents, and I felt like I'm starting this year off so right. You know, I'm, you know, starting off vlogging right away. I just really want to kind of prioritize this. And then things kind of just went from that to being total chaos. And I haven't vlogged since, and we're into the last week of January. What is it today? Today is January 23rd. And so what has happened between now and then? Several things. One of the main things being my grandmother passed away on January 8th, which was extremely sudden for our family, and just something we did not see coming. And it has been the first time in my almost 32 years on this planet of having to experience the death of someone in my life who played such a big role. And it really, I mean, as anybody knows who's lost somebody, it's just like everybody has their own way of grieving, and everybody has their own way of mourning. And it's been something that I've been working through over the past few weeks. So vlogging, as you can imagine, hasn't really been something that I've wanted to do or felt like doing. So I've been here at the cottage and just kind of reflecting a lot, as anyone tends to do when something like that happens. So January has been very crazy so far, and it's not even over yet. The other thing is, when I first started my last vlog that I put out, the hiking vlog, I mentioned travel updates. And I was gonna do a whole update video on that. I was super pumped about my next trip, which was going to be going back to Nicaragua, specifically to Little Corn Island. And I was supposed to fly out on January 17th. That was something that I had in the works from around December. And given the sudden passing of my grandmother, it just didn't feel right to get on a plane a week later and go down there. My head wouldn't have been there. I was, you know, obviously not doing very well. Neither were, you know, many of my family members and stuff like that. So I just really wanted to be here to give them support and to just kind of just come here and just be with myself for a little while, to just absorb everything that had happened. I mean, this was a big shock to all of us, and it still kind of is. It feels weird to say that, and I'm sure at some point it'll sink in a little more, but traveling right now just doesn't feel like the right thing to do. So I also kind of had to absorb the fact that I'm not taking this trip, and that trip was very open-ended. It could have been a month. It was, I mean, I had accommodations booked for at least a month, so it was going to be a fairly long-term trip. I was willing to stay there for 2 months, 3 months. So yeah, I'm just kind of now at a point where I'm really trying to prioritize what I'm doing with the vlog, what I'm doing with my life, and where I'm gonna go next and when that's gonna be. And just kind of trying to take some pressure off myself. I think we all do that to some extent, some more than others. And I'm definitely one of those people where I want to do a lot of everything all the time. And when those things don't happen, I feel bad about it. And I'm really trying to give myself permission to give myself some space and some time to just grieve the loss of my grandmother and to adjust to the idea that I am here in Canada still, when I wasn't planning to be, obviously. I mean, when you're traveling, especially when you're solo traveling, you really kind of get psyched up about going and what it's going to involve and all this stuff and packing and making sure you have everything. And it just went from that to, you know, I was supposed to leave in a week and I canceled everything. So just, you know, kind of just here to regroup and figure everything out and kind of figure out what my next steps are, and giving myself permission to take my time a little bit with that and not feeling bad about not vlogging enough or not doing enough of this, or, you know, what's progressing with me and where am I at and all of this stuff. You know, I have a lot of really big ideas and that's all great and everything, but you really do need to give yourself time to kind of prioritize what it is exactly you're doing and get really clear about that. And I think right now that's just kind of my priority, is getting really, really clear about my intentions for this year. So where am I at? I mean, this was supposed to be a short little update. So that's it. I don't really want to ramble too much more about that, but I really wanted to put out an update on where I'm at and say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. You know, it's still super, super new, and I do have some really, really hopefully what will end up being good things for this channel, and a lot of different ideas. But I think to start with, I just want to, even just a weekly kind of update to kind of sit here, even if there's nothing else really going on right now and I'm not traveling and I'm not doing this and that, just to kind of touch base and share with you guys where I'm at right now. And unfortunately, you know, this update, it's not necessarily the happiest of updates for me, but it's also kind of really given me time in a way to step back and reflect on everything without all the hustle and bustle of like hopping on a plane and being somewhere else and all of that. It's just kind of really made me embrace the present moment. I talk about that in some of my other videos, but it's just kind of been that for me. Just all about going day by day, especially with grief. Anybody who's experienced you know, mourning the loss of anybody knows that it's a daily thing that you have to go through, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So that's it, you guys, for now. I will touch base, if I do nothing else, I will touch base next week with more updates on where I'm at, where my head's at, what my plans are, and if any of that's changed. But in the meantime, I really, really just wanted to get something out there to give you guys an update on where I'm at right now. So thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one.